alpha to the horizontal. Having fallen the distance h, the ball rebounds elastically of the inclined plane. At what distance from the impact point will the ball rebound for the second time? So this condition is, how can you understand this condition? Let us say this is an inclined plane. So this inclined plane making an angle alpha to the horizontal. The ball falls on this inclined plane with initial velocity 0 from the height h. So in what velocity it falls on this point? V square minus u square is equal to 2as. We have to calculate final velocity. Initial velocity is 0. Acceleration is g. S is how much? H here. So the velocity with which it falls on this inclined plane is root over of 2gh. So after falling on this inclined plane, it rebounds. Elastically rebounds means if we extend this line, you can see that this is alpha and this will be how much? 90 degree. So this is 90 degree minus alpha. If we draw a perpendicular to this inclined plane, you can see that this is a perpendicular. That means this angle is 90 degree. Okay? So this is 90 degree minus alpha. This angle is 90 degree. So how much is this angle? Alpha. Okay? It elastically rebound means the velocity with which it rebounds is 2gh and making an angle, this angle will be alpha. Okay? Elastical rebound means in which velocity it falls on this ground, it again started motion with this velocity and with making same angle, that is alpha. So this angle is alpha and this angle is also alpha. Okay? We have to calculate at what distance from the impact point will the ball rebound for the second time. That means, let us say, after reaching this position, the ball again started rebounding. We have to calculate this distance. This distance we have to calculate. So if we consider only this part of this question, then you can see that this is the projectile motion. Only the difference is that the projectile is making an angle alpha to the horizontal, and in this case it is happening on the inclined plane. Okay? So if we consider this as horizontal, if we consider this line is horizontal, then it will be same as the projectile motion. Okay? So let us think this is horizontal, and on this horizontal the velocity with which this ball rebounds is 2gh root over. This angle is alpha means this angle is 90 degree minus alpha, because this is the perpendicular to this horizontal, to this inclined plane. So this angle is alpha means this is 90 degree minus alpha. Okay? So here the initial velocity is how much? Root over of 2gh. So this velocity is making an angle 90 degree minus alpha to this plane. That means the velocity in this plane direction is how much? V0 cos 90 degree minus alpha. Okay? So if we consider this as horizontal, that means in horizontal direction its initial velocity is root over of 2gh into sin alpha. Okay? And along the vertical direction, its velocity is how much? Initial velocity is root over of 2gh sin 90 degree minus alpha, that is root over of 2gh cos alpha. Okay? Now we have to find this range. If we consider this as horizontal, then we have to find this length. That means what it is called? The range. The range we have to find. So how we calculated this range? S is equal to ut plus half at square. I can write it as simply r is equal to ux into t. But why I am take this as S. U into T. U along this direction. This is how much? V naught cos 90 degree minus alpha. Root over of 2gx sin alpha. T is, we know, time of flight, because we have to calculate this displacement. That means the time in which the particle reaches at this position. So this will be time of flight. So we know that time of flight formula is how much? 2u sin alpha divided by g. Okay. So u is here how much? V naught, that is root over of 2gh. Okay. So u is root over of 2gh sin into alpha. Alpha is here angle between horizontal and initial velocity. So here the angle is how much? 90 degree minus alpha. That means this is 90 degree minus alpha divided by g. In this case, g is in this direction. So in this case, g is also in this direction. Okay. So g is making an angle 90 degree minus alpha to this plane. So the component of g along this plane is how much? Along this direction, that is ux direction is how much? Along this velocity direction, g cos 90 degree minus alpha, that is g sin alpha. Okay, along this direction the component of g is how much? G sin 90 degree minus alpha, that is g cos alpha. Okay, so this value of g is how much? G cos alpha, that is perpendicular to this horizontal plane. That is, here g is perpendicular to this horizontal plane. That means this g is now here how much? G cos alpha, perpendicular to this inclined plane. G cos alpha. Sin 90 degree minus alpha is cos alpha. So cos alpha cancel out. So here it is 2u sin alpha. So it is 2 into root over of 2gh divided by g. Simply we put here the time of flight is here 2 into root over of 2gh divided by g plus half into 8t square. In this case you can see that g is in vertically downward direction. In horizontal motion there will be no acceleration. But in this case g is making an angle 90 degree minus alpha to this plane. In this plane, along this plane direction, acceleration is g sin alpha, and perpendicular to this is g cos alpha. We have to calculate this range. That means in this plane direction we have to calculate. So in this plane direction the acceleration will be g sin alpha. So I have here considered half at square into a is here g sin alpha. T square means 2 into root over of 2gh divided by g whole square. So this will be 4 into 2gh divided by g square. So g square g cancel out. 2 into 2 cancel out. And here also you can see this will be 2 into 2gh sin alpha divided by g plus here how much? 4h sin alpha. Okay, so g cancel out. This will be 4h sin alpha plus 4h sin alpha. That means this will be how much? 8h sin alpha. So we have considered this as S. That means this range we have found at 8h sin alpha. That means at what distance from the impact point will the ball rebound for the second time? At 8h sin alpha distance. After 8h sin alpha distance the ball covered, the ball will again rebound. Okay, so this question is a cannon and a target are 5.10 km apart and located at the same level. How soon will the cell launched with velocity, initial velocity 240 meter per second to reach the target in the absence of air drag? So this is the case of rotational motion. Here is the cannon and here is the, let us say, target. So this is located 5.10 km apart. That means in meter 5.00 meter. So So the range is given. So when the cell is fired, it will follow this path. So in time of flight, this will cover this displacement. So the time of flight formula is how much? 2u sin alpha divided by g. Initial velocity with which it is thrown is 240 meter per second. Let us say it is making an angle alpha to the horizontal. So 2 into 240 into sin alpha divided by 9.8 is equal to t. We have to find this time of flight. So sin alpha is how much from this? 9.8 t divided by 480. Okay. Range is given. Range formula is how much? U square sin 2 alpha divided by g. 240 square sin 2 alpha divided by g means 9.8. Okay. So sin 2 alpha is how much? 2 into sin alpha into cos alpha into 240 square divided by 9.8. So from this sin alpha you can put this value here. By putting this value sin alpha here, what we get? 19.6 t into cos alpha divided by 480 into 240 into 240 divided by 9.8. Okay. So 9.8 here it is cancel out. 2 cancel out. So this will be like 240 cos alpha into t divided by 1. So range is given 5100 meter. So from this we can calculate cos alpha. So cos alpha is how much? 5100 divided by 240 into t. 0 cancel out. 510 divided by 2040. We know that sin square alpha plus cos square alpha is equal to 1. Square of this plus square of this is equal to 1. So square of this is 9.8 square t square divided by 480 square plus 510 square divided by 24 square t square is equal to 1. So this will be how much? 98 into 98. 9604. 96.04 t square divided by 480 whole square. That means it will be 48 into 48. 2304. So 2304 means 00 plus 510 51 into 51. 2601. 2601 divided by this will be 24 square means 576 t square is equal to 1. So if you solve this, then it will be a t fourth equation. That is, what I am saying is I am wiping out this. 260,100 divided by 576 t square is equal to 1 minus this much 96.04 t square divided by 230400. So 260,100 is equal to, if we cross multiply this, then it is gonna 576 t square minus 576 into 9604. So 576,9604. 5531,904 and this is point here. Okay, so this will be 55319.04 t square divided by 230400. This will be t4. Okay, so there will be two value of t square. Okay, simply square root this and you will find the value of t, and we cannot take the negative value of t. There will be two value of t. Okay, so you will write in the answer these two value depending on the angle alpha. Okay, a cannon fired successively two cells with velocity v naught is equal to 250 meter per second. First at an angle theta 1 is equal to 60 degree and second at theta 2 is equal to 45 degree to the horizontal. The azimuth being the same, that means it fires to two cells in same direction. Neglecting the air drag, find the time interval between firings leading to the collision of the cell. So this will be the critical case. That means here is the first cell fire at an angle 60 degree to the horizontal with velocity 250 meter per second, and here is the second cell. After firing this cell, it is fired at an angle 45 degree to the horizontal with velocity 250 meter per second. Okay, so this cell will cover this path and this cell will cover this path. Okay, so let us say after reaching this point both the cells will collide. Okay, so we have to find the time interval between these two firings. Let us say the first cell is fired and reaches to this point at time t, and the second cell will reach to this position at time t dash. So t minus t dash is equal to del t. That means t dash is equal to t minus del t. We have to find this del t. This position has some abscissa and some ordinate. That means both of these cells will cover this x and this y in this time interval. Okay, so how to calculate this x? Is equal to ux into t. We know, because gravity is in this direction, there is no acceleration in this direction. Okay, so x is equal to ux into t. For first cell, ux is how much? 250 cos 60 degree. 250 cos 60 is 1 by 2 into t. The same x is covered by the second cell in t minus del t time. So it will be 250 cos 45 degree. Ux is cos 45 means root 2, 1 by root 2 into t minus del t. Okay, so from these two equations we can find what is the value of t in terms of del t. 125t is equal to 250 divided by root 2t minus 250 divided by root 2 del t. So t is how much? This can be written as 125 root 2. Root 2 multiply, root 2 divide. So this will be 2, and in the numerator this will be root 2. So this will be 125 root 2 t. So this can be written as 125 root 2 and this can be written as 125 root 2. So t is how much? 125 root 2 into del t divided by 125 whole into root 2 minus 1. So t in terms of del t is this much. 125 we can cancel. So this will be root 2 del t divided by root 2 minus 1. Next, this will cover, these two cells will cover same vertical displacement also. So y is equal to uy into t plus half at square. A is here minus g, vertically downward direction. So this will be, for first particle, y is how much? Uy into t, 250 into sin 60 degree, 250 root 3 by 2 into t minus half g t square. This same y, this same vertical displacement will cover by the second particle also. So this will be 250 sin 45 degree divided by root 2 into t is how much? t minus del t minus half t minus del t square. Okay, so if we equate these two equations, this will be 3 4 and this is 1 and 2. By equating 1 and 2 equation, we can find t in terms of del t. By equating 3 and 4 equation, what can we find? 250 root 3 by 2 t minus half dt square is equal to 250 by root 2. We know this as 125 root 2 t minus 125 root 2 del t minus half g t minus del t whole square. If we open this bracket, then it will be minus half g t square plus g t del t minus half g del t square. Okay, we can put the value of t in terms of del t here. Okay, 250 divided by 2 into root 3, that means 125 root 3. 125 root 3 into t is root 2 del t divided by root 2 minus 1 minus half g square of this 2 del t whole square divided by root 2 minus 1 square. 2 cancel out is equal to 125 root 2 into t into t means this much, root 2 into root 2 is equal to 2. 2 into 125 is equal to 250. So I can write this 250 into del t divided by root 2 minus 1 minus as it is minus half g t square 2 del t square divided by root 2 minus 1. Okay, whole square plus g into t into del t, that means root 2 into del t square divided by root 2 minus 1 minus half g del t square. Okay, so here 2 cancel out. You can see that here is also this term, here is also this term. So this term we can cancel out this 125 root 3 into root 2 into del t divided by root 2 minus 1 is equal to, we can take root 2 minus 1 in the denominator and this will be 250 del t minus, we can multiply here root 2 minus 1. So this will be how much? 250 minus 250 del t minus means minus 1. So minus is plus. So this will be 125 root 2 del t. So this will be root 2 g del t square minus half g del t square. So this will be half g del t square into root 2 minus 1. So root 2 minus 1 here, root 2 minus 1 here, I can cancel out. And if you see in this equation, then you can see that del t is here, here is also del t, here is also del t square, 250 del t minus 250 del t, you can cancel these two. Del t, if you take common from this case, then you can also cancel del t. So this is not a quadratic equation of del t, this is a simple equation. So if you solve this, you can get the value of del t.